Urltv.tv. I go by the name of Beasley. I'm in here chilling with Smidak. What's good, man? I just wanted to sit down and talk to y'all, URL family, and explain exactly what took place this Sunday, December the 9th. We had the Armageddon event planned. We ran plenty of trailers, promotion, and it was looked at to be one of the biggest cards ever, actually bigger than Summer Madness too. Unfortunately, the event did not take place, and I just wanted to explain exactly what happened. We followed our usual procedure. We secured a venue that we always worked with that could accommodate the crowd. Upon doing a deal this time with the venue, because we're growing, the venue insisted that we go through their ticketing system, which isn't unusual for large venues. Usually they're contracted by major ticketing companies that are worldwide. This venue was actually under the Ticket Web system, which is a subsidiary of Ticketmaster, which is a very reputable company. But to make a long story short, we locked in, we signed a contract. We began promoting immediately. Fans were able to purchase tickets from the venue's website, and the venue was responsible for collecting all of the money. We received ticket reports on a daily basis showing us, what tickets are being sold, so we had an idea that the crowd was going to have a nice turnout. The 8th, going into the 9th, man, was about that Friday. The event was Sunday, so last Friday, I say about 12:30, right?
Yeah, it was actually technically Saturday morning, because it was after 12 a.m. We received an email from the venue stating that, they needed us to contact them as emergency in regards to the event happening that following Sunday, which was the 9th. So we got the email on the 8th, early morning, probably like around 12:30 or so, and
we contacted them.
Yeah.
They said that the event might not be able to happen, and we needed to talk the following day. So, we was up at them at the venue first thing that afternoon, about 12 noon. We went in, talked with the guy who actually booked the event, and he told us some story about the police precinct and the community board not wanting the crowd from the URL to be out there on a Sunday. However, we had already done 4 events in this venue without incident. Summer Madness 1, Summer Madness 2, Night of Main Events, no, not Night of Main Events, Any Given Sunday, and a VIP event. All great, all did well, the bar did well, no incident, and that's why they had us back. In fact, if you even look as recent as last Thursday, before the event took place, you'll see Smack and myself at the venue talking with the guy from representative who booked the event, and us going over stuff with the sound team and the production team. So everything was on track to be well. In fact, they even invited us out that night for a Neo concert. We came through, everything was great. We're still getting ticket reports, even up as far as the day of the actual event. So fast forward, they told us that they couldn't do the event. We stayed. We offered to pay more money for security. We offered to just give them more money in general. We talked to the CEO of the venue. We talked to the police department, who kind of turned it up on us when we went in there. We did everything we could possibly do to try to keep the event at the venue. However, they wouldn't budge, and we were stuck. So, within a couple of hours, while we were at the venue fighting, one would be talking with the representatives from the venue, one of us would be on the phone trying to secure a backup venue. It's very difficult to get venues of that size to control a crowd of that magnitude within a 24-hour period. I mean, we talked to venues that were bigger than the venue that we were going to use. We talked with venues that were the same size, but most of them either were booked, or they were saying that it was just impossible to staff up with security, bar people, managers, etc., to be able to do the event. So now we're in a situation where we have all these tickets sold by the original venue of people who are in town. We have artists in hotels, artists on planes, transportation, production equipment, production teams, purses paid out. All of these things are all done prior to the event. And now we're forced to make a play. Do we reschedule the whole event, or do we try to salvage it with the MCs that are in town and at least capture the content? So we decided to do that. So separate from that, we went out and spent our own money and got another venue in a short amount of time.
Yeah, we was able to secure the Gramercy, the Gramercy.
Which isn't a shithole venue.
Nah, it's a Live Nation venue actually, and
it's a great venue.
We try to make it work, but like I just think that in that amount of time, like it was just impossible for them to actually staff an event.
Right.
With the size and the amount of people that we draw out, the magnitude of our events, we draw out a lot of people, over 1,000 plus people every time. So
and it's not their fault, man. They recently had another battle event there, and the turnout was kind of light. So based off that battle event, they figured they'd be able to accommodate a crowd like the URL. But unfortunately, we just had too many people converging on the venue. It only did about 650, but it's actually a great looking venue with a great staff. Shouts to Margaret. They actually would like us to come back and do an event of a smaller magnitude. So when we have something that we think they can accommodate, we'll definitely look at using them again. So shouts to the Gramercy. They did the best that they could, but the amount of time that they had to be prepared. However, most people are not aware of the crowd that URL brings out. I also want to take the time just to give our apologies to, everybody that flew in, that drove, that waited online to try to attend the event, that was outside for hours. This is something that was truly out of our control. We really tried to make it work, you know what I mean? All the money that was collected for tickets, a lot of people think that we have it. We never had it. It was all ticket led. Look online, you can see the exact page and where the money went to. The money is being returned to everybody. It is the venue's job to return that money. It usually takes about 5 to 7 business days. So if you haven't gotten anything yet, you should be receiving your money back in full within that time. Also, I know a lot of people are saying that, you guys knew a week in advance. Why would we wait? It's just not, that doesn't work to our advantage. We did not know. We were totally caught off guard. In fact, if you look at this email right here, you can actually see when we were notified for the very first time that we would not be able to use the venue. So I just wanted to put that rumor to rest. We don't get any benefit out of that. We didn't control the ticket money. So there is no advantage here. All the money was returned. So we took our own money and went and got another venue. And Gramercy is a Live Nation venue. And if you know anything about venues, it's not cheap. We tried to get, we were able to capture one of the battles, which was Young Yell and JC. And the crowd was so massive outside. We had tons of celebrities who couldn't get in. Shouts to Method Man, Joe Buttons. Who else is out there? Fab. Everybody that couldn't make it inside. Again, our apologies, but we just had too many people converging on that small venue, and they just weren't equipped to handle the crowd. So again, we just like to give our apologies to everybody who drove, who came out. We definitely intend on shooting all the battles that were on that card within a reasonable time. Right now, we're just figuring out the best way to do it because everybody has different schedules, and they have lives, jobs, families. So we have to see when we can get the remaining guys to come together, or either we'll get them knocked out one by one in one-offs, or we intend on doing this immediately. We've already started planning on ways that we can capture this content and bring it to you. We also were able to capture that night at the third venue of the day, Sue Surf and Conceited.
Shout out to Poison Pen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Poison Pen held us down.
Part of the family, he basically was in the grind and in the trenches with us, basically trying to establish another venue so we could have a chance to capture this history, so we was able to pull that off, and yeah, man, this is a real unfortunate situation, I feel like the battle culture been robbed, we got robbed of history, because so many people was looking forward to this card, and it's just an unfortunate situation that was out of our hands, and believe me, we tried to do everything in our powers to basically accomplish and complete this objective, but you know, it was just so short of a time notice. We only had less than like 30 hours to reestablish another whole situation, and that's just not enough time with the size of event of this magnitude. So, you know,
but again, you know what I mean. Shouts to everybody, you know, who came out. Shouts to everybody who waited online, man. And again, you know, we just wanted to give you, you know, our apologies and just, you know, let you know that we definitely working on the situation, and we've implemented a plan so that this won't happen again. We did have a fully executed contract, so right now we're in the process of taking legal action against the previous venue that we were going to use for this event. You know what I mean? We're not walking away, you know, like nothing happened. You know what I mean? Because everybody paid a price, and somebody's going to have to atone for you know, what they did. You know what I mean? And in this instance, it is the venue's fault totally, and you know, we're going to take all legal. We're already in the process of taking legal action against them, so we're definitely going to make sure that gets rectified and straightened out. But again, this is something that blindsided us, and you know, we tried to work it out the best way that we could, but the crowd was just too big. There were no venues available that could accommodate them. Fans were confused because some got the memo that the venue had changed, some didn't. Some thought that the tickets that worked at the previous venue would work at the new venue, and didn't know that their money was being refunded. So it was just a whole mess. It was like a domino effect once they canceled. So we just did this blog really just to let y'all know that we didn't know that the event was going to be canceled a week ago. Look in the email, you can see that, you know, there were no other venues that were as big as the one that we were going to use. We definitely captured 2 classic dope battles that we're going to drop very soon, and we definitely intend on getting the remaining battles captured and on tape and out to y'all. We got some dope events coming up in 2013. We got plenty of other types of hip-hop content and entertainment for you guys. You're going to start seeing a lot of us pushing a lot of different artists, pushing freestyles and other types of programming on the channel to keep you guys entertained. And we definitely appreciate all of your support and understanding in this matter. If there's any questions that y'all have that we haven't answered thoroughly, please feel free to leave some notes at the bottom of the screen, or actually in the comments, or maybe we can do some type of live blog or live stream where they can call in and chop it up with us and ask us any questions that you want to ask. But you know, stuff like this happens. You know what I mean? Recently, I think it was in UFC with John Jones. He got matched up with another opponent and had to cancel the whole card. And people have flown in and bought tickets. So this happens in all forms of major sports and business. And this is our sport, the hip hop sport. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, what happened with the UFC with John Jones and Kyle Sonnen happened here with, you know, the Armageddon card. You know what I mean? It wasn't able to happen because of some circumstances that were beyond our control.
It's definitely a learning experience, and we're going to take all necessary measures to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we are never put in a position like this again if we can. Because, like, once again, we didn't see this coming at all, so it was a surprise. You know, we got blindsided. We had numerous successful events in the past with the venue that we used to do business with, so it's just a shock. I'm still in shock. Like I can't even believe that, you know what I'm saying, we even doing this blog right now, man. It's like crazy. For real, man.
Like people gotta understand too, like, you know, we took a tremendous loss, and even after taking the loss, we could have easily thrown our hands up and walked away once the venue said that the event wasn't happening. But we still went out and spent more money 2 different times to try to make this happen. Still paid the MCs that battle. Still flew people out here. So, you know, these are all expenses that we're never gonna recoup. You know what I mean? But we're dedicated to capturing this culture and keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? Not only do we do this as a business, but we do this for the love. You know what I mean? So this is something that we believe in. This is something that we plan for 2013 to make even bigger. You know what I'm saying? I believe that we're definitely a strong force in this culture. we're always pressing and innovating and trying to do something new, man. So we appreciate all of y'all who help us complete that objective, and we greatly appreciate everything that you guys have done in terms of support, retweeting battles and talking about us and getting us out there. And we just wanted to do this blog to let you know exactly what was going on so that all questions will be answered. So please feel free to hit us up on Twitter, leave questions in the comments, and we'll definitely get back to you and try to answer your questions the best way that we can. We appreciate you, man. Urltv.tv, the world's most respected MC battle arena. All right?